Boy, boy, we are back. We always back. Never run away. No matter what. You know, we are warmongers. You know, a warmonger. Yeah. Um, I think in the olden days, we used to talk about Rhodesia, right? And in Rhodesia, uh, we were saying uh, the Nkomos and the Mugabes, they used to use this juju thing, right? So the juju thing will turn them into empty hills, and you wouldn't see them coming. So you'll pass them on the way, and when they rise, then from there they hit you in the back like nobody's business, right? It's just those old stories that we used to talk about. But anyway, yeah, today we're gonna talk about the different juju, the land juju. Yeah, in China, Malema wants land, wants land. I want a land. Everybody has. We must have land. Yes, indeed. I concur in that regards. Land is, in actual fact, a right to have, and mainly because we are the natives of this land, right? Meaning to say we are the originalities of this land. Even though, there used to be migration and sort. And mainly I hear these Khoi Khois and Khoisans saying this their land. That's nonsensical, right? The land belonged to African people, South Africans, the Khoisans, all of us, right? It might be that some of the people migrated to a certain area, some migrated, but to claim that yeah, we the Khoisans, we are the owners of South Africa, the Khoi Khoi, the report says so. Which report? From whom? From whom? From the grey guy? Come on, no. Where was he? Where was he in reality? So let's face the reality. Let's understand the truth. And in reality, right, we as like the natives of this land, there wasn't anything written down. Because I tell you, the story of my forefathers, I know it by heart. Why? It was told to me. So I pass that lineage, right? The stories are passed in that way. You sit around the fire, we talk about those stories, right? That's how we were taught. That's how we were told. Unlike nowadays, you sit around the gas. What will you learn? But anyway, time changes, right? And we need to understand that reality that is there, right? It's a reality of the new world. What can you do? Time changes, right? So yeah, the land issue. China, one land, and his supporters, the guys whom he raised their mindset, they can't think well, and they feel like they know how they are thinking, of which no. He has painted or depicted a very wrong pictures to them, and they feel like this is the reality. It's not. I've pointed an issue. Look at Zim. Look at Malawi. Look at Tanzania. Look at the whole of Africa. They've got land. They've got banks. They've got what? But where are they going? Zambia, right? Look at how informal we are. And worst of all, right? We are incapable of formalizing the places that we stay at, right? Instead of formalizing those places, making them tangible and proper for living in, right? Many of us, we stay in the suburbs, like Mchana. You think we don't know where he stays. In China, we know where you stay, in the suburbs. Why don't you go and formalize Alex? Why don't you go and formalize, how we say? So. Eh? Why don't you go and formalize Aukau there, right? It just does not make sense, right? So we need land. Yes, that's the truth, right? So, okay, what is the issue with land? Mainly the South African land. Let me narrate to you the formation, the actual structure, right? Yes, the land was taken from our forefathers, given to the brownish or whatever color you call it, right? Men. And I remember ek het gewerk met die man. Ek gevertel, right? He used to be in the army, right? And after he came back from the army, then that's when he was allocated land. That's how mainly the land was allocated to individuals who mainly will have, served in the army, right? But the structure itself, that is of utmost concern. That's the first thing, right? And I said it in another video. I said, okay, the structure of the land in South Africa, right? It is that you have cities, right? You have farmlands, right? You have rural lands, right? And that is due to mainly we had those Bantu stands and stuff like that, right? So now, what is the problem with that? One might say, but yeah, it's our land, and because really we cannot think, right? But if one could try to understand, right, what structure we have and what implication does it has for the future, you'll understand a lot, right? You will learn a lot. The land allocated to the cities, it's small lands like Johannesburg, you got Pretoria, you got whatever, Durban, you got, those are small lands, right? And that is the land that mainly, when Malema is fighting for the land, he's mainly fighting for that. That is I'm not saying he's not fighting for other portions of land, but that is the main land that he's fighting for. Why? Because he wants to get those Mozambicans, friends of his, to come and steal our land here, right? But anyway, so since that land is small, right? That is the land we are fighting for. That is the land which is very much expensive. And remember, the expense is made about by what? By the demand and supply. Yeah, right? So now you got land which is arable and non-arable land, right? And if you check the structure of South Africa, many of us, we are structured or staying mostly on the arable land, right? Which is mainly the eastern part of South Africa, north and a little bit of eastern south, right? So now, what did the Grey Man did, which was very wrong, right? He did not structure this land in a way that Americans did to their land, right? Americans structures their land in a way that you got enough of land for what? For financial purposes, right? We got enough land for financial purposes, but there is an issue of water, which is not actually an issue, it's just a moronic thinking type of way. That's why it is an issue, right? We'll have another video on that and I'll explain further because it's one of the field that I think I'm very good at, right? So now, Lambani water project, the bulk supply, Chad. So now, okay, now because of that structure, you have these rural places where they're expanding without any limit, right? I'll take you to Stanga, I'll take you to Eshowe, I'll take you to Kwamlazi, I'll take you to many places. I'll take you to Kwamshanga, I'll take you to, there are many places where they are expanding without limit, right? And that's a danger for the future. Why? Because now everybody wants land. I want land. Okay, you give them land, they expand. You end up not having enough of what? Arable land. As I said, many of us, we are stationed where arable land is, of which it's on the eastern part of the country, right? So now, in that regards, it means to say, because we are not building high, we are building wider, and also, there are these guys from outside who come, like if you go to Rodeport side, right? There is a lot of place there. There is shacks and stuff. Many of those, it's mainly guys from outside who are working at the farms. They're not even South Africans. Probably those are the Malema voters, right? Okay, no problem. They're our brothers, our sisters. We need to accommodate them somehow. I don't know. But, it's illegal, right? What is happening. So now, okay, right? Uh, of which, when you look at the structure of America, you got the cities, you got a lot of that arable land, you got small towns, you got a little bit of villages there and there. That is sustainable. It's sustainability. That's what we call sustainability. People are staying in the cities. It's just only the problem with that is what? Systematic issues, right? Where gray men think he's better than a black man, right? And the black man is suffering. If you don't have anywhere to go, then from there you are stuck in the city as a hobo or as a street dweller, right? Unlike here, if one does not make it in the city, you go back home, right? In the rurals, right? But as I say, Mandela used to say they will create cities within those rural areas, of which that has not even materialized up to even 30 years afterwards, right? It's all rest in peace anyway. But the thing is that if South Africa was structured the same as USA, right, we would have had much of food security. Why? Because we would have enough arable land and, plan for the future. It's easy to plan for the future in that regards. But now, here in South Africa, how do you plan for the future with such unstructured system, right? Look at Bupedi. Go to Bupedi. Look, it's only one town with one street. That's how Africa is. Not well structured. And we don't think of structuring these places. They are growing like hell, right? We do not ever think of structuring them. Why? Because that's how we feel like we want to live. But the people of Chad, this is how we want to. But okay, now what about the future? And that's the problem of mainly we South Africans. We think of today. What about tomorrow? What about the next day? And that's why we get beaten up on everything that we engage in. Why? Because today you get a tender as a tenderpreneur, and tomorrow the money is gone. You have, went to those, what does Michana call them? The ladies of the night, or whatever they call them. Yeah, slave queens. That's what he calls them. Yeah. So you spend money with those. You forget about tomorrow. You take monies from here to Dubai. You forget that, hey, man, instead of sparing that money, creating Dubai here, let us come to Dubai and give you monies, right? So, but anyway, that is the structure of South African land. It is not structured well. That's the first thing, right? Okay, the second thing, it's the experience. Sometimes I speak, and people just feel like you can answer me somehow. It doesn't matter to me. Why? Because I've been through these things. I know this. I'm not talking about things I do not know. I'm talking about things that I've experienced, right? You have not experienced them. That's why you're talking nonsense all the time. But me, buddy, I've been there, right? Let me tell you this story. So one time, that's 17, 18 years ago, I'm not talking now, fools, right? I'm talking back days, right? And we had these companies that we call them management companies, right? We want to manage land of people who have reclaimed their land, right? Got their land, and then we get there, we advise those people what can happen with the land, if it was producing whatever type of fruits and whatever stuff, because, I had people who knew about how to, because they used to own farms and stuff like that, right? So now, okay, no problem. I remember we had these guys, they claimed their land, they got their land, and this old guy says, hey man, my people have got their land, let's go. And you talk to them, and I said, oh, good, because, we are in that line of land management systems, right? Okay, no problem. We go to these people. Hey, guys, we want to help, right? Help with the information, with whatever. I've got guys who know about these things, and they can, look at the land, help on how to, manage the land and make it sustainable. Right. Okay. Okay, do a proposal, give us a proposal, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, no problem. Did a proposal, gave them a proposal. So, guys, this is the situation. This is what we are willing to do, right? Man, um, after that, we wait. Mhm. A black man's time is 1 o'clock, is 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is 5 o'clock. But hey, we waited until we says, nah, now it's not serious. We went back to them and said, guys, but what is the problem? Okay, no. You know what? We are still negotiating as a family and whatever. Oh, only to find later that no, these guys are fighting for the monies. Okay, let me give you a scenario here. The land value, right? It's almost towards R1 billion, right? And worst of all, there is mines, old mines that used to happen in the land. It's just that in those old days, they were not looking for those commodities. One commodity was a platinum, and the next commodity was gold. The third commodity was a diamond. I even went to where these places were, right? Because I drove through the land, and many of them they didn't even know because it's an old history. So the guy whom I was, moving around with, he was an old guy who stayed within the land in those very old days, right? Okay, now the guys are fighting for 6 million rands. Why? The government, after they gave them the land, they gave them money to start at least, The guys are fighting for 6 million rands. Oh, 6 million. Seriously, guys, the land is worth R1 billion, right? There are a lot of things. There were, I think, 2 or 3 rivers passing through the land. There were like orchards, right? That guavas, I think mangoes, I think what is this thing? Avocados and papayas or pawpaws, whatever you call them, right? They were those things in the land. And we say, guys, we have people who know we are working with, can assist in terms of restructuring and helping you, to make this land a much, much sustainable land. And, you can like have this land and be able to support your families, right? But no, we want the 6 million. I tell you, they took each other's from the lawyers and whatever. I'm telling you, it's 18 years back, right? Even to this day in age, nothing much has happened in that land. Can you imagine a land which was sustaining at least a few families, a land which was helping? That is even a small story. Umchana knows about this other land. They call it Sapiko. What do they call it? Mahuba. Yes, this Mahuba guy, whatever you know him, can attest to that. Even though when I heard, he wasn't even interested in those type of things because that land is quite a big land. I think they used to have tea plantation, banana plantations, and so on stuff. Right? In the olden days, right? There are people who used to work there, right? Where we used to pass there from far when we are driving, traveling stuff. People who used to work in that farm, people who used to feed their family, take their family, their children to school. But at the end of the day, what happened? Somebody decided, okay, let's give these people back their land. They got the land. And at the end of the day, what happened? Now, as I'm telling you, the land is dissolute. There's nothing happening in the land. Maybe small portions there, but the whole scenario there, which it's very painful, is that people, at least they could manage to get a living out of that land, right? You can think that maybe these situations I'm talking about is just only of a few. There are many. Go to vendor, right? We used to go and get some bananas there and some stuff and sell in the market. Right? Even though there's a big story there in the market which needs to be dealt with by the government, but the government is doing nothing anyway because look, whatever. Yeah, I'll tell you the story one day, right? So, but the thing is that, okay, land, you give people land for what in the first place, right? If it was an active land, should you give to people who are going to waste it and not make it more active? It doesn't make sense. That's food security issues there, eh? Of which China is advocating for that. Yeah, we want land. I don't have a problem with people getting land. People need to get land. But what are you going to do with that land? Do you have experience? Don't be like this government of ours who took over without any experience. They chased those people who had experience. See what happened at ESCOM not long ago. Man, history has to teach us something. What is the reason for these politicians to do history, but it doesn't teach them anything? It's so vague and so problematic that at the end of the day, you look at them and say, but these people, where is their mindset? Did they lose their mindset where in the pit, toilet or something like that? What happened with these people? Don't you learn? Don't you understand that, oh, this is what needs to be done? This is not what we should be doing, right? And that's the reason why now Zimbabwe wants to pay back the farmers. Why? Why? Huh? You understand the situation. It's a vague situation. Zimbabwe has to try to, grew up, Rhodesia was a place to be. We wanted to go to Rhodesia, but now, is it even a place that anybody wants to stay there? It's a problem because of what Muchana is saying. Right? Okay, solutions on the land due to the structure of the land of South Africa. And I want to say something, right? When we were moving around with these land issues and stuff, right, we discovered that many of the land in South Africa is not even owned by people from South Africa. Many of the people you see there by the farms, they're just, what they call farm managers, right? They are holding a proxy or something for somebody who's in a very far land, whether it's Scotland, or whether it's Holland, or whether it's UK, whether it's a lot of land of our country is not even owned by our own people. And that's why there is this big, big war in terms of how do you, take the land without paying the money. Pay back the money, but it's a big issue, right? But it can be solved, right? There are solutions which, yes, they are not going to be simple solutions. As I said from the beginning, I said what? The land issue is a very sensitive issue, guys. And it doesn't matter whether you are from the EFF or whether you don't even know what land is all about. You just want the land to build a Mukuku. Mukuku, I started seeing Mukuku when I started staying in Johannesburg. I said, Jesus Christ. Why do you even have Mukuku for that matter? Build a house, right? So anyway, these are, you remember me, I said I'm solution orientated, right? How I was taught is that do not bring a problem. And that's how things are supposed to be. Do not bring a problem. Show us the problem and tell us what you think of the solution. That's how things are supposed to be. Not the Muchana way, bringing a problem. This land issue is a big problem. You do not have a solution in China. It's as simple as that. And don't be lying to these young guys. Look, you have orientated their mindset in a direction that they don't even know. What does the future hold, right? A mindset that cannot depict the future happenings, it's a big problem of a mindset, right? So now, solutions, which according to me, which might, I'm not saying they will work. Don't blame me tomorrow and say, no. I'm saying these are the solutions that I believe they might help. First thing first, you got people who owns the farms, right? You need to get our young guys to train. You need to get our young guys to understand what the land is, what it does, how to handle it, how to, take good care of, because maintenance is a big problem for us as well, right? One needs to learn those type of things before you can say, I want the land. What do you know about land in the first place? No, I will learn when I have the land. But come on, by the time you have you start even doing something in the land, already somebody's starving to death, right? Will buy food with what money? You are battling to have a bank. Just have a bank first. Let's talk about that, right? Okay, right? These young guys need training. Train them, get people who are willing, compensate them, whatever, so how. Let them be trained. Let these young guys have a know-how of what to do with the land, right? Second one, make sure after at least, the training, you give them a portion of a land, right? Government has got a lot of land, I tell you. South African government has got plenty land, but that land is not doing anything whatsoever. Yes, some is arable, some is not, but South African government has got a lot of land, right? Give people portions within a farm, let them showcase their ability to can run a thing. Then after, yes, upgrade them to a higher level. At least that's tangible. It might take many years, but at least it's something tangible. It's something that makes sense, right? Okay. Then give these people a portion of land. Let them own land. Let them have a lease on those lands, right? They have a know-how. They've got ability. Yeah? They know, right? At least this is what you do. I'm talking about those people who love to farm, right? I'm talking about those people who's got it in their blood. I'm not talking about, me who's just going to farm some cabbages from China and start selling them for, and those cabbages are not even having pesticides. Hey, man, sometimes when people talk, they just talk nonsense. And at the end of the day, we support them. Yeah, we want land. Yes, you want land, but for what? Right? Okay, working together. That's one of the solutions. To say what burkis and stuff like that. Yeah, they are burkis, they are buas. You can hate them and love them at the same time. It doesn't matter. But what I've discovered in my line of work, where I did work, is that I've learned from Afrikaners, I've learned from English guys, I've learned from colored people, I've learned from, black people, I've learned from a lot of people, and taking all that knowledge and combining it into one, man, I tell you, I tell people, many of the structures, skyscrapers here in Central, they were built by my boys, not me. What can I do, me? Probably one of the places where you have bought your Mercedes Benz, it was built by me, but you don't know. You feel like you can just tell me nonsense, right? You don't know. You feel like you are better. You are not better at anything at all, right? Learn, understand, have knowledge, apply your knowledge, right? It's all about research. Research has been done, and from research, you understand where is the way forward, right? From that research, you just don't say, I'm going to build a house. How? Ask Muchana, the house that he stays in, probably it was, built by better architects, better engineers, right? Why? Because that's the way things are supposed to be. There is a black way of doing things, but there is a right way of doing things. There is a white way of doing things, but there is a right way of doing things, right? So it doesn't matter what you think, what you say, right? The issue of the market, man, we need to talk about these things because we're scared of nobody, right? We need to say it as it is, right? I tell you guys, we used to buy some stuff from farmers, mainly in Venda, mainly in most of the Limpopo area because it's a farmland there, right? And I understand the reason why China is fighting for land because Limpopo guys, your farmlands, right? But um, now we take these products or produce to the market. Hey, man, that's where we experience a reverse apartheid, another apartheid on another level. The most engineered type of apartheid, you can call it, right? We get our products there, they put them in the whatever, depend on what type of a product it is. They can put them in the fridge if it's bananas, and put them outside if it's whatever. So it differs as per the produce. The cabbages, they can put them outside. You know, the ones that requires like, what is they call them, not the freezers. Yeah, it's sort of a freezer, sort of, right? They will put them in there and stuff like that. So now, these guys, they don't do that. These called agents, also called agents. At the market, it's agents, right? The next thing, they sell our products to the, what do they call it? The Mandela market. Can you imagine, at a low rate, than how much we have spent? Can you imagine, at that time, I think it's how many years back? Maybe 12 years back. Yeah, somewhere there. You get products, you have to transport them. It was costing us almost around 15 to 20,000 just for transport alone, right? They bring them here, then somebody's going to sell them lower than what you bought them for. Can you imagine how bad and how, it is mind-wrecking. It's a havoc. Call it a havoc, whatever. But the government has not done anything about those type of issues. The markets needs to be reformed. Before you can say you want a land, you want to be a farmer. Yes, be a farmer, have a land, but at least let the market be reformed as well, right? Or let's have a separate market whatsoever that will cater for the majority of the people rather than a market that is catered for only a few minute people, right? So those are the land issues. There are many issues about the land, right? This land bank issue, stealing money is flying from wherever. Look, to insinuate that one understands the land issue, it's a lie. Not here in South Africa. It's mainly the structures, right? And also our brothers in the government, you know them, right? The cronies and the stuff like that. They won't even tell you. There were programs that you could get a land, go to the government, they buy the land for you, you utilize the land, as long as you get experience and stuff like that, or there were programs like that, but where they end those programs, one never knows, right? People, money just fly, and now Mchana, with his mindset, it doesn't make sense, people. Look, one may say, you are, what? Jealous of Mchana. Man, how can I be jealous of a person that I'm too much intelligent than? It really does not make sense. It doesn't matter where you are. Look, I can pass you within a second. So what I'm saying is that we need to understand the reality on the ground. Let's not talk. I know, yes, our people are suffering. Look, I concur with you guys who are suffering. I concur with, what is happening. I know, I've been there on the ground. Right? But at the end of the day, somehow, somewhere, it's not because we are suffering, we have to do things in a very ununderstandable manner. No, we need to understand things. We need to have knowledge of things, how things work. And at the end of the day, when you have knowledge, share the knowledge, right? Because I know we, right? We not talk of another people, right? We kind of like have that mindset of this is mine alone, of which is not yours. When you have it, it's there to be shared with others, right? I know it stems from our families. But anyway, that is what I have. And we will have part 2 on this land issue, so that at the end of the day, maybe I offload what I know, and you as well, you're allowed to give a comment there, what you understand. Don't just say nonsense without talking. Talk sense, right? Bring about sense. Let's hear your sense. 2 cents, it doesn't matter. As long as it's something of sense to say, oh, okay, buddy, This is how we can do. This is what we can do. This is how you move things forward. But because the EFF guys, they don't have a mindset. Juju went and took a juju from Mozambique and just applying it on them. Yeah. Let's not talk too much. But anyway, one juju is bigger than the other. Yeah, that's how things work. When you go to Babalaos and stuff like that, and at the end of the day, those things work against you, and that's what is happening now. Probably it's no longer functional. Anyway, yeah. But guys, all I'm saying is that the land issue is a very sensitive issue. The government needs to be in the forefront. We need an active government, and the active government is coming, I tell you the truth. Not these foolish things that are happening up and down, upwards. You can see these people, they've got no solutions whatsoever, right? They do not understand how things are supposed to work, right? They don't look at other countries, how they're doing things. They don't look at and understand those things before, if you copy and paste them. They do not do that. But a new government is coming, a new dispensation that is going to be for the people, by the people. And that one, I tell you and I promise you, it's not from man, it's from God, right? We will understand how things work, and you will have the right people in positions, the people who know and understand what to do, the people who got the people at heart. Jana has got no you at heart. Malema does not care about you. I remember some of my guys I know, they worked for them, were in Pumalang or somewhere, they were never got paid. One thing I say, China let him employ 1,000 people that he's paying 15,000 rand a month. At least he's paying 15 million rand a month every month. Let's see if he can hold on that. And then he can speak whatever nonsense that is actually, breeding in our young guys' mindset. It's not right? And I'm just talking this because I'm not happy with a lot of things that Michana is doing. And one can say, yeah, sense of jealousy. No. That's your problem. There's comment there, you EFF brothers. Yes, you're my brothers nowadays. Oi. See you on another video, guys. We share knowledge, we share love. One day, God will bless us. Oi.